Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. In today's video, we're going to cover a bunch of different topics here. We're going to start with Brad Garlandhouse's tweet here where it says, "Tacos, anyone?" Just kidding. The stand is closed. So they're referring to Jed McCaleb's taco stand XRP wallet that's finally been emptied. James K. Fallon has an update with the Ripple versus SC stuff. Ripple General Counsel Stuart Alderati speaking on Congress and the courts need to rein him in, where he's quoting this Wall Street Journal opinion article that came out. Wheezy X puts up this video of a former SEC commissioner talking about the wins with the SEC. Digital asset investors referring to one of Brad Garlandhouse's tweets in regards of the House, people watching closely the House Financial Services Committee's oversight hearing this week. Johnny Deaton's talking about the whole litigation that's happening with the Ripple versus SC and how the SC claims XRP itself is a security and anyone selling it is violating Section 5. And he kind of gives a little thread here covering some different aspects of it, different variables there. And then this conversation on Fox Business of Nancy Pelosi's husband buys over 1 million of computer chip stock weeks before the vote of industry subsidies. And then we're going to end on this one here from Watcher Guru. It says, just in court filings reveal Three Arrows Capital owes $3.5 billion. So coming up here to the CoinGecko, we're currently sitting we're over $1 trillion market cap. We're currently sitting at $1.04 trillion market cap, currently up 4.1%. Coming out here, Bitcoin is sitting at 21,633, Ethereum sitting at 1,482, and then XRP is sitting at almost just under 36 cents. So we have some green going down here. The biggest gainer is STEPN at 17.7, Polygon at 17.6, Thorchain 15.6, and so on. Coming over here to the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we're currently sitting at 20. So we were just at 24 yesterday, so we're down 4 points for the day. It's going to have an update in 2.5 hours, just under 2.5 hours. And I'm sure we're going to have a little bit of upside here, especially seeing the green that's in the market. But we're still in extreme fear where there's still a lot of market uncertainty. We have a lot of stuff that lies ahead for us in regards of, regulations and I guess, the wrap up and hopefully the reining in of this inflation stuff and the geopolitical things kind of calming down, the negativity within the space kind of calming down. So we have a lot more positivity and we can slowly start seeing ourselves gravitate toward this greed side and kind of get out of this whole bear market or bear cycle that we're in. Starting with Brad Garlandhouse's tweet here, says, "Tacos, anyone?" Just kidding, the stand is closed. So he's referring to Jed McCaleb's wallet. Right here, the article says, starting the week off with some XRP history in the context of Jed McCaleb's taco stand wallet. So the stand is finally out of tacos. So that's a huge milestone for the XRP community and for Ripple itself. There was a lot of people talking about, him constantly selling on the market all the time, or I think it was like every month or whatever period that he had. I forgot the specifics, but he had like a certain period and a certain amount that he could sell. With all that being done, people were saying that, it's going to help increase the price of XRP. And there's other people in the community that say, him selling didn't really have a huge impact or that type of impact to really move the market in regards of XRP. So whether, one side is right, the other side is wrong, whatever the case is, it's just a huge milestone. And a lot of people, and Brad Garlandhouse, David Schwartz, and the like have all been retweeting and tweeting about it. So that's huge. This is an update from James K. Fallon. I want to thank James K. Fallon for always updating the community on these documents and kind of what's going on within litigation. It says court-approved parties sealing requests regarding Amici motion to participate and challenge to SEC expert. Unsealed versions must be filed by tomorrow, July 19th. Amici must reply the SEC objection to the participation by Monday, July 25th. So this is a quick update. I'm gonna come in here. You can kind of pause the video and kind of read that if you like, or come check out James K. Fallon's Twitter account here. We have Ripple's general counsel here, Stuart Alderati. He's referring to this Wall Street Journal opinion article. It says, quote, "Congress and the courts need to rein him in." So he's referencing Gary Gensler here. It says, U.S. capital markets are the world's envy. Gary Gensler's job as chairman of the SEC is to protect and promote them. Instead, he's attacking them. So there's a lot of conversation that's been happening within the community about this. And I mean, if you've been, keeping tabs on what's going on in the community, you're part of, crypto in general, or you're following the case, that a lot of scrutiny and a lot of eyes are really set on Gary Gensler and the SEC at this point, especially when it comes to the Ripple versus SEC stuff. shout out to the XRP community for always fighting the good fight for sure. And all the other parties, Jason Foster from Empire Oversight, Johnny Deaton leading the class action lawsuit. You have Charles Gasparino, Eleanor Terry, and all the, YouTubers and Twitter slews out there that keep retweeting and spreading and finding information. Shout out to everyone that's really fighting the good fight there. This is from Weezy X. I want to shout out Weezy X Nerd Nation Unbox. Former SEC Commissioner John Stark, quote, "The SEC is 94-0. They're winning all these cases." So I want to take a listen into this.
Well, I think the last time Cornerstone did a report this year, and I think they said the SEC was 94-0. And it's because these cases aren't like shooting fish in a barrel. Okay, the SEC hasn't lost a single one of them on any matter. Occasionally maybe there's a motion where they don't get everything they want, like the recent Ripple motion kept the defense of fair notice alive, and the SEC wanted to quash the defense before there was even any consideration of it, which, I'm not surprised they lost that, but I don't have any faith in that defense.
So I wanted to bring that up, and I want to thank Weezy X for always posting some solid stuff. I wanted to have a conversation about this really quick. So 94-0, whatever the numbers is, so they've been undefeated, for instance, right? So how are they classifying a win? Because if you look at what's happening with the Ripple versus SC stuff, like, is Ripple saying, okay, you give us all the terms we want and you just want some sort of settlement, like in regards of like, hey, we paid you, as they've been talking about, like 100 million or whatever the case is the SEC going to consider that a win? Like, is that really a win? So that's what I'm really curious about. Like, how are they defining all these wins? Are we talking like an outright win, whether it goes to the distance or, some sort of rollover, or if it's a settlement? Does a settlement, especially with the SEC being backed into the corner and all the strength and power being in Ripple side, is that going to, yield or promote a win for the SEC? I'm really curious what you think. Let me know, down in the comments of this video, if you think if there's a settlement and Ripple pays 100 million, even though they get all the terms that they want and they have the case on their side, if they were to go the distance, they would clearly win this case. But no, they settle to kind of get the ball rolling. Do you think that's a win for the SEC, or is it a win for both? And is the SEC's record going to be 95-0, for instance? Curious. This is from Digital Asset Investor. He's referring to Brad Garland House's tweet here. Says, who else is going to be closely watching the House Financial Services Committee oversight hearing this week on the SEC Enforcement Division? And Digital Asset Investor says, who in Congress is ready to be an American innovation hero and hold this SEC accountable for conflicts of interest, potential ethics violations, and picking winners and losers in crypto? We either have a nation of laws or we don't. The world is watching. Hashtag ETHgate. And he added, everybody. Digital Asset Investor, shout out to Digital Asset Investor. If you don't follow him, I'm sure you all do if you're watching this channel. Shout out to him. Always, great content, great commentary. He's very intelligent, has a lot of life experiences. It's very entertaining to listen to. A great guy to follow, and he always puts out great content. And I love his overwhelming message of like, he wants this world to be right and just for the sake of his children. And I feel the exact same way every time he says that, man. It just hits me in my heart hard, because everything that I do in my life obviously is to take care of my family, but like, it's my kids. I want my kids to have everything better than I had, and I want them to have a fair shot and opportunity to succeed and be good people, be good young men, and make a difference in this world, and have a shot at truly obtaining and maintaining prosperity and generational wealth and so on. And this is just a perfect example. He always talks about that in almost every video. He talks about that, especially with all the shady stuff that's been happening from government officials. Shout out Digital Asset Investor. This is from Johnny Deaton. It says the SEC claims XRP itself as security, and anyone who sells it is violating Section 5. So he's referring to Leonidas's tweet here. It says, now that Jed has finally sold out the last of his XRP, it has been estimated that he has earned a total of 3.09 billion and 708 BTC since 2014. Most of his sales occurred after the SEC lawsuit against Ripple. 2.562 billion was cashed out after the 22nd of December 2020. So that's when the lawsuit dropped. So they got all these, I guess these are all the transactions, and right here, what is this? sales before SEC lawsuit against Ripple, sales after SEC lawsuit. So we're going to go through this quick tweet thread, and I'm going to try to be quick about it. It says, the SEC claims XRP itself as a security, and anyone who sells it is violating Section 5 of the Securities Act. The SEC claims Ripple, Garland House, and Chris Larson enriched themselves at the expense of investors and is seeking $1.3 billion in disgorgement for these defendants. Coming down here, he says, yet the co-founder Jed McCaleb earned $2.56 billion from sales of XRP since the date the lawsuit was filed. That is nearly double the amount the SEC seeks from the defendants that were sued. It should be noted, Ripple has also sold XRP since the lawsuit was filed as well. Let me be clear, I don't believe Jed McCaleb did anything wrong. It is his XRP and he is free to do with it as he sees fit, assuming he complies within the bounds of the law. But if you accept the SEC's allegation as true, he has been violating the law and enriching himself. So violating Section 5, as he says. He continues, I raise this issue to only demonstrate how insanely inconsistent and illegitimate the SEC's claims are. If the SEC truly believed today's XRP is a security, it would have done two things without hesitation. One, the SEC would have sought a preliminary injunction against Ripple. That's exactly what it did versus Telegram. It would attempt to prevent Ripple from selling XRP on an ongoing basis. Think about it. Ripple gets to sell XRP, an illegal security, to pay for Ripple's defense to win the case and allow them to continue to sell illegal securities. And he has a shake my head emoji. He continues, if it's clearly illegal, you don't allow the defendant to keep breaking the law so they can pay their attorneys to make sure they can continue breaking the law. And two, the second thing they would have done is used a cease and desist letter to the co-founder to stop his sales. Why? Because now they have to face the fact that Jed has made twice more than people they sued for doing exactly what they claim is unlawful and immoral. But you only do the things I've mentioned if you truly believe in what you are alleging. Almost sounds like the Ripple XRP case wasn't filed for the sole purpose of enforcing securities laws, does it? I mean, great. Let me go ahead and quote tweet this. This is a great tweet thread, nice and concise, from Johnny Deaton. I mean, really think about that. If it is what they claim it is, and we know it's not, it's full of crap. It was, as they say, as we've been saying in the community, it was utilized as a weapon. Whether it was truly to create a monopoly with Ethereum and whatnot, it was used as a weapon. Continuing on here, Eleanor Terry says, I think Fox Business is actually the only network covering this. So they're talking about this right here. Nancy Pelosi husband buys over 1 million of computer chip stock in Vita weeks before vote of industry subsidies. So coming over here, Johnny Deaton says, first CNBC wouldn't and has not covered the gross appearances of impropriety at the SC. And now this, one might argue CNBC has sold out. Mainstream media, someone's in somebody's back pocket for sure. I'm going to end on this one. It's from Watcher Guru. Just in, court filings reveal Three Arrows Capital owes $3.5 billion to 27 different crypto companies. Tragic, man. This is absolutely sickening. And obviously, there's a lot of other major blockchain platforms and companies like Celsius that's filing bankruptcy. Voyager and all these companies have been affected, and millions of investors that have their assets and their capital on these platforms are just completely being decimated and kind of being held through the ringer right now. So. I want to send a lot of love and positivity, to those families and those investors out there, because I can only imagine, if my assets were wrapped up into these type of companies and platforms. But yeah, that's kind of the update. Make sure you come to the Crypto is Key Conversation YouTube channel and subscribe. Follow us at Crypto is Key 1 on Twitter. We're really excited to keep bringing you content and grow this community. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.